You can order the inner and outer tie rods used in the video on the CarParts.com website via the link in the description. Turn your engine off and set the parking brake. Loosen the stud bolts on the front wheels. Lift the front of your vehicle. We strongly suggest watching our video on how to jack your Ram 1500 safely before carrying out this step. Place the vehicle on the jack stands. To be able to replace the inner and outer tie rods on your vehicle, you need to remove the wheels to gain complete access to the steering system. Don't forget to put the wheels under the vehicle. Turn the disc outwards. This will facilitate the following steps. You can now see the outer tie rod. With a marker, trace a line between the inner tie rod and the outer tie rod. This will be useful later on during its assembly and disassembly. With a 24mm wrench, loosen the lock nut on the outer tie rod. Hold the inner tie rod with a 23mm wrench to prevent it from turning. The lock nut is there to prevent any rotation of the two parts towards each other, which could have an impact on the wheel alignment of your vehicle. The components to be removed are very often seized up, so don't hesitate to brush and use penetrating oil to make removal easier. Using a socket wrench and a 21mm socket, unscrew the outer tie rod holding nut. If the ball joint turns, use a ratchet and a 13 and 32-inch socket to block rotation of the ball joint. If you do not have a ball joint puller, a tool specifically designed for this task, take a hammer and hit the knuckle. The ball joint should come out of the knuckle. Unscrew the outer tie rod and remove it. Use the markings made with the marker to return the lock nut to its original position. Then, measure the distance between the lock nut and the end of the inner tie rod using a caliper. In any case, a wheel alignment check will have to be carried out by a professional soon after having performed this operation. Hey, it's Alex from CarParts.com. If you enjoyed this video and want to support us, like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, back to work. Remove the lock nut from the inner tie rod. With pliers, remove the external metallic clip on the protective sleeve of the inner tie rod. Using a flathead screwdriver, remove the waterproof clip on the sleeve. Remove the sleeve. Remove the waterproof clip on the sleeve. Using a tie rod removal wrench, a specific tool for carrying out this job, you can now loosen everything without difficulty. To do this, insert the tool up to the fixed part of the inner tie rod. Then, with the help of a breaker bar, unscrew the inner tie rod. If the inner tie rod is dented, you can loosen it using an adjustable wrench. You can order the inner and outer tie rods used in the video on the CarParts.com website via the link in the description. Take the new inner tie rod and unscrew the lock nut supplied with it. Put the tie rod axle joint back on the steering rack. Still using the same tool or using an adjustable wrench, screw the inner tie rod back in. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Then, remove the tool. Now take the new sleeve provided in the kit. Then, apply silicone grease to the part of the sleeve that will be in contact with the steering rack and the part in contact with the inner tie rod. Put the sleeve onto the inner tie rod. Place the sleeve on the shock steering rack. Now, take the new clamps provided in the kit. Then position the inner collar correctly. Then screw it back in using a ratchet and a 7mm socket. Replace the outer collar. If you want to know which tools and parts we use in this video, just check the description and you'll find everything you need. Screw the lock nut back on until the distance measured with the caliper is reached. Take the new outer tie rod and unscrew the lock nut supplied with it. Put the outer tie rod back in place until it touches the lock nut. During this operation, you will work on the steering system of your vehicle. A professional alignment check should be performed to ensure that your steering system is once again perfectly adjusted and functioning. Use an adjustable wrench to rotate the inner tie rod in order to place the outer tie rod in the correct position. Using a wire brush, scrub the knuckle, then apply silicone grease to the flat part that will be in contact with the sleeve of the outer tie rod. Do not grease the inside of the cone. Put the outer tie rod back in place in the knuckle. Put the castellated nut supplied with the new part in place and tighten it using a ratchet and a 21mm socket. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Take the key and fit it into the castle nut. Use a screwdriver to bend the key. Finish tightening the lock nut using a 24mm wrench by holding the inner tie rod still with the help of an adjustable wrench to avoid damaging the tie rod. Then you will be able to put the wheels back on your vehicle. Put the car back on the ground and block the wheels properly. Operation complete.